Hey there, it's Kay, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today I'm going to be going over my monthly budget for February 2021, but before I get into it, as always, I just want to thank my returning subscribers for joining me again. And if you're new to my channel, I would love to see you follow me on my journey by subscribing down below, as well as following me on Instagram at planwithkay, because I never really pin my Instagram, but I would love to see more of you guys over there. And without further ado, let's get into this budget. All right, so our opening into February, which I have this February budget book in my Etsy shop, and I'll have it linked in a comment down below. But guess what, guys? I have a blank calendar because I never decorate my calendar with you guys on camera anymore. Normally I decorate it beforehand and then go ahead and do my budget instead. And I actually kind of want to do it the opposite way just because I want to shake it up a little bit. So I have some tools with me today for that. I have my Skinny Mini Happy Planner. I have my Recollections Budget sticker book that I use all the time. And then I also have this, I actually printed and cut these out by myself. It's from an Etsy shop. I think it's Thanks's. There's tons of sellers that offer like printable sticker downloads, which I think is really, really cool. And I saw these and they do fit. I mean, they're a little small, but they do fit in my calendar boxes here. So I kind of wanted to spice up my stickers. And I got my Skinny Mini because, let's see, I think it's, yes, this page. There are some very minimal changes to my bills that I needed to make note of in here. So I'm gonna have this on the side as well. And first, let's mark paydays because that's gonna help me visualize the roadmap. So I did do red for February here with some like gray. And I changed the font. I made it like a little more of like a sweet script. I totally suckered into the Valentine's Day theme, don't judge. I thought it was really cute. So I want to do pink and probably purple for these paydays. Just so we have a really cute color scheme. So the first payday is the 3rd, which we should do in pink. And the second one is the 17th. And then that'll work out because my first paycheck of March will actually fall into the first week of March. So let's see here. My first bill that I will have is, of course, my credit card that I'm snowballing, which is due on the 5th. And then I have Samsung Cloud, which is due on the 8th. And then I have Sprint, which is due on the 10th. And then we have Safeco, which is my car insurance, and that's one of the bills I had to pay attention to because I did enroll it in auto pay and it saves me $3 a month, which is not a whole lot, but it's still something. So the due date didn't change. It's still due on the 13th. And then we do have one more bill in that pay period for my tuition, and I ran out of pink stickers, of course. So I guess the logical conclusion is to move into red so that I can save my purples. So the 15th. And then, so now we're in purple payday. So we have on the 26th, so that's the other thing that changed for me too, is that my Adobe Creative Cloud, it used to be due around this time frame, 7 to 9, and now it's due like 26, 27. So we have Adobe, And then of course my rent, which I'll probably still be splitting between my paychecks, but I am gonna have like a really, really high income for February, so I might not even have to do that. We'll see. So 28. And Spotify. Ooh, how could I forget? Because my next payday isn't gonna be until March 3rd here, so I gotta include March's Spotify, which is March 1st. I'm also gonna go ahead and add some little icons just so that it helps me recognize what is what. So, and then we know this one is car. And also because the colors don't match directly and I need to be kind of color coordinated, and I just hit my head. I'm sorry if I shook the camera there. And then the 10th is gonna be phone. And then that's, oh yeah, there's no education sticker in this book, but I have my own. Although it's definitely not gonna match the color, but that's okay. And then the 26th is Adobe. I'm just gonna use the little Wi-Fi internet because I don't have an internet bill. I don't even have internet. So I gotta find a way to use those. And then down here we have, that's rent, so we need a house sticker, which I think is on the page prior. Yep. So we got a house sticker. And then Spotify is what that one is. And I guess I'll just use another little like Wi-Fi symbol. That's the only way I'm ever going to use that sticker, is just to mean like internet bill or some internet utility. I even have like these like utility stickers that I'm never going to use because I realized that my utilities are built into my rent, so I don't even need those. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these in now. And there is everyone on the calendar. And I do want to add a note to myself in the column so that I don't forget. So I'm going to be grabbing this foiled functional box out of the sticker book. So I just added a little note to myself that I may still have to split the rent depending on how my income falls on these two paychecks. But otherwise, the calendar looks completely clear and it looks super cute, but also like very tidy, which is what I was going for. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna skip my dashboard, but there's a dashboard page included in the budget book now. And the sinking funds and cash envelopes I will set up differently in a different video. So we're just gonna go straight into this monthly budget here. And I'm gonna get you guys zoomed in. And so for February, I am only expecting income from work. And like I said, it is gonna be a higher earning month for me. So I am gonna budget for $2,200. And before I was budgeting for about $1,800 because I wasn't making any travel money, but now I'm gonna be making travel money, which is really exciting because that's all just extra income for a debt snowball and for savings. So that's all I'm gonna budget for though, because I don't expect any additional income. So this $2,200 is gonna be our starting balance, and first I always make sure that I pay my bills, my fixed expenses first. So as always, I'm gonna put them in chronological order of how I need to pay them, which is what I just did on my calendar. And I do already luckily have that for me on my Skinny Mini. So I have my credit union credit card, and the minimum payment dropped down to $41, which is good because that means even more will be going towards paying down that balance now. So, and then next is my Samsung Cloud, which is just $1. And then I have Sprint, which is $36. Then I have my car insurance for $190. And then I have my tuition, which is $50. And then Creative Cloud, which is now towards the bottom, is $16. And then I have rent, which I'm gonna budget $850 for, because that's usually a really good amount for both my utilities and my actual rent and fees. And then we also have March Spotify, which is gonna be only $5 because I have a student discounted plan. So let me grab my calculator and let's total these up. So we get $1189 as my fixed expense total. So we have $1,011, which is what we're going to bring into my next category of flow, which is cash envelopes. So let me just pull my notebook up a little bit so you can see where I'm writing. So my cash envelopes are allowance, gas and grocery and eating out, laundry, and pets. So those are my cash envelopes that I regularly use, but I did leave spaces on the worksheet in case you guys use more. But that's what I use. And because I'm going to be in New York City, where things are probably going to be a lot more expensive than they are where I live, which things are already expensive where I live now, I am going to be budgeting for amounts that are a lot more than I normally budget for, but I do definitely have the extra wiggle room with this higher income. So I have to think in terms of what I would normally use here and then how much I think that would get me in New York City, basically. And so I am going to basically have to not only budget more, but also try to stretch the budget as much as I can. So I'm going to start backwards with pets. Obviously, I can't bring my cat with me. He's going to stay home, and my partner obviously will be taking care of him. But I want to make sure before I leave that I have enough food and litter for him. So I'm going to be budgeting $80 just to stock up on food and litter for him for the month that I will be gone. And then for laundry, there's going to be launder facilities in the hotel. I mean, like, pretty much all hotels have them. I've just never, like, had to use them because I've never been in a hotel for more than, like, a week. So I'm assuming they might be some sort of coin op or preloaded card, like how my apartment uses a preloaded card. So again, I don't know how expensive it's going to be. So normally I do $20 to $40 a month because a load for wash and a dry here costs like $5. So I'm going to bring $60 with me, and I'm going to be bringing my own detergent with me. So that should kind of negate the cost a little bit. And then for eating out, my hotel is not an extended stay hotel, so there is no kitchen. It's probably just going to have a microwave and a mini fridge, which makes cooking very difficult. So I do believe that there will be times where I might be eating out. And so normally I budget like $40 a month, and that usually gets me like, I would say 5 or 6 lunches depending on where I go. So I usually can go out once a week for lunch on $40 a month. So if I want to do that in New York, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like $100 is what I'm gonna budget for. And for grocery too, I normally do like 160, 180, sometimes 200 a month, but like I also kind of like split things with my partner. So I'm gonna be budgeting $200 for groceries for myself for the month. And so between those two categories, I have $300 for the month for food, which I think is a lot. That's like $75 a week for food. So that's like $10 a day. And I think I can get by on that if I live like as frugally as I normally do when I'm in a hotel for a week. It's just a lot of peanut butter and jelly, unfortunately, but that's I make it work, you know? And so obviously, because I'm not going to be driving, my car is going to be parked here, it's going to be stationary, I don't need a lot of money in gas. So that's kind of the upside to all of this. So I'm gonna budget $20 for gas because I do want to fill my tank before I leave in case my partner wants to use my car while I'm gone. Then he has gas in it. And for allowance, I normally give myself $40 a month for allowance, which is like $10 a week, and that might get me like a roll of vinyl at like Joann's, or maybe I use that to buy my partner lunch as well. And so basically, like, I don't really give myself a lot of money to like spend on myself, but I am gonna be in the heart of Manhattan, and I feel like I know I'm gonna want to like buy myself something, at least a souvenir or something, and so I'm gonna give myself $100. And God forbid any of this other stuff doesn't, like, God forbid this isn't a good amount of money for me and I end up needing more, I can just take out of my allowance, because I kind of do that sometimes anyway. If anything, my allowance is like my cash buffer. So let me go ahead and add these up and let's see how much I'm going to be using in February for cash. So it's going to be $560 is what I'm budgeting for cash for the entire month, which is a whole lot more than I normally budget for, but I am going to be in a different area and a very different living situation for a little bit, so we'll see. And again, if I need more, I fully understand, like, I might have to go over budget this month. This is a situation I've never been in before, but it is like unique. So like, I don't expect to be fully prepared for this, but I'm just doing my best. So I'm going to be budgeting $560. So we had 10, 11 when we rolled in. We need $560, so that leaves $451 to bring next into sinking funds. So this does kind of leave me in a weird situation, because when I made my debt payoff plan, I know I had a snowball goal of, I think, $400 for February, but I only have $451 to split between my last three categories. And I did also create a goal for myself to save $100 in sinking funds every month. And because I have identified that half the reason I even went into so much debt in the first place is because I didn't save for any form of emergencies or things, I think that my priority is going to be saving in my sinking funds over debt snowball. So I am going to make sure that I save my $100 a month, and then my snowball will be the $351 that's left over, which means we won't be able to put anything into my extra savings, but that's fine. I just have to think about what sinking funds I want to stuff. So I had a quick thought and I decided that I'm going to do car maintenance, medical, and phone. Those are kind of my major priorities right now. My medical, I just keep stuffing it and unfortunately having to spend it because my teeth are still a nightmare in progress. So I definitely want to probably put 40 in there, and then that leaves 60 between the two, but of course I have to think in terms of 20s because ATM life. So why don't we do 40 and then 20? So that's 100. So then we have 351 left over to go into my snowball. So that does mean I do fall a little bit short of the goal that I set, but life happens. So here it is in all of its wondrous glory, my February monthly estimated budget with a huge chunk of variable expenses. But obviously it is a unique situation and it's going to be a really big learning experience for me. And like, I honestly can't wait to see how this works out. I feel like it's going to be such a good like overall life experience for me. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'd also appreciate if you left a like and a comment on the video, as well as a subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I can't wait to catch you in the next video. Peace out.